Welcome back to the Frederick Family Acre. Today we have something new and hopefully interesting for you. This is going to be the introduction to a podcast that we're starting. This podcast has been something that we've had kind of in our minds for quite a while now, feeling like we need to start it, and it's something that we've wanted to do. We're going to share this intro here now, the full clip. Following this with all upcoming episodes, what we'll do is just take small clips and post compilations of clips from each episode to post to this channel, and then we'll post the full clips to the other channel that we'll be starting, which will be linked up above.
We think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope that you will join us on this new part of our journey. Welcome to the Growing to Freedom podcast. We're your hosts, Catrina
and George from Frederick Family Acre.
The Frederick Family Acre is our YouTube channel, and in that space, we focus on sharing the ups and downs of our journey to self-reliance in the garden, cooking, raising animals, building lots of crazy things, and it's really just more to document our experience and share that with others.
Growing to Freedom is going to be about passing the knowledge that we gain along to you guys. This podcast is going to revolve around deep dives into various self-reliance topics and self-reliance skill sets, traditional skill sets, and various life skills that we find important.
We are going to be breaking these topics up into seasons, and during each season, we are going to get very granular and specific with what we are discussing. And our first season is going to be all about laying the foundation to start becoming more self-reliant and less dependent on the modern American system.
We are currently located in San Diego County, California, and in a semi-urban type environment, and we're a family of 6 with 4 boys.
Our journey, much like many others that are currently learning a lot of new skills, started back in 2020. We were home, we were bored. We had talked about starting a garden for years.
Yeah.
And we never made time for it. So we started our garden, and that unleashed something within us that was very powerful and quickly got, well, out of hand, depending who you ask. And so now we have our garden, which is constantly growing. We're adding a lot of new stuff this year. We additionally have chickens. I think we just counted 22 chickens.
22 chickens currently. Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
chicken math?
Yeah.
It's real. And then we have 2 turkeys that are full grown. We just hatched out 10 little turkey chicks, and we have meat rabbits also.
So like Catrina said, 2020 was weird, and like a lot of people, we saw shelves start to go empty. We eat sometimes a full dozen eggs and a gallon of milk in one day, sometimes one meal. And we went to the grocery store a few times, and they told us, no, you can have 1 dozen eggs and that's it. You can have 1 gallon of milk and that's it. And we decided that we wanted to have more control over the food that is in our lives. So if, probably when, something like this happens again, we're not worried about it. We're not concerned, and we're less stressed about the whole situation.
And the food tastes better. We've always cooked from scratch,
Yeah.
But the food tastes so good, and it's just so satisfying. I mean, once you harvest your first little thing, you go crazy. But we cannot go down the rabbit hole on that. I could talk about that for a whole hour.
It's totally worth saying. The jump from cooking from a box to cooking from scratch from the grocery store is 500 times better. The jump from cooking from scratch from the grocery store to cooking from scratch from your garden is, again, another 500 times better.
Yeah, it's really, and we never really cooked in a box in the time that we've been married,
Yeah.
But it's so good. You can't even believe how good the food is. And if you grow your own food, you definitely know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we'll just quick go into a little bit of past kind of history about where we both came from. I did grow up mostly eating out of a box or cans. Hamburger Helper, Chef Boyardee, SpaghettiOs, all the good things, Idaho potatoes, the classics. Children of the 90s and 80s, of course, that was the best thing you could possibly get. We did have gardens off and on, small gardens. We grew things here and there, pumpkins. We had apple trees. We had a little pomegranate tree, things like that. We kept ducks for a while, but they were pets. We didn't ever eat any of them or any of the eggs. And I grew up in a very, I would say, urban setting. So moving into kind of this whole lifestyle in the last couple of years has been very different, a ton of fun. It's been a new experience, and honestly, I wish I could have experienced more stuff like this growing up, but I get to do it now, and that's the best we've got, and I'm loving it.
And our kids.
Yeah.
I mean, watching our kids.
Oh, the education, educating them and making food important. Them knowing where their food comes from, it matters. We've lost our respect for food as humanity, and it really is kind of tragic, I've come to find.
Yeah, we really think there's a lot of value in being close to your food and being made of the food that you grow. It's pretty cool. Now, in contrast to George, I kind of grew up on a farm a little bit. My great-grandparents, a million years ago, I don't even know what year it was, bought a large property in Northern California, and different parts of our family lived out there at different times. And from the time I was in 6th grade until I left high school, so that's 7 years, I lived out there. There was always a garden. There was meat to be raised. You know, cows would be raised and butchered for beef in the freezer. We even had emus and ostriches. That's like a little wild and weird because that was kind of the craze at that time, and they actually taste really delicious. And maybe we raised a couple pigs. I don't really remember, but I never paid attention. I helped move irrigation pipes because that's how we moved our water until we had in-ground pipes. You had to pick up these long aluminum pipes and carry them down however many feet and hook it up to the next one all the way across the property. But in my youth and as a teenager, I didn't have the appreciation for that I do now. So I didn't actually soak a lot of that in. And while I did have exposure to that, I'm really relearning everything. And all of this is to say that no matter what kind of background you have, this is absolutely something you can do if you want to do it, and you can do it no matter where you live.
It truly is just about taking that first step and finding one thing to change, just one. Part of the reason that this got out of hand so quickly and expanded so quickly is that we are both very passionate, probably addicted learners. We find a new topic, something that we're interested in, and we really explore every possible angle that we can, most of the time, even beyond the things that we're able to implement. So we may be able to do things around our house that someone in the Midwest may be able to do better in a different way. We'll still explore those things because it's good, healthy knowledge to have.
The things that you study when you decide to homestead or gain skills to be more independent and self-reliant and better able to take care of yourself are really surprising. I have read multiple books all about soil, about dirt, chapters and chapters, lots of videos.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating how much there is to learn about all of this.
Oh, and especially with when you even just leave books and go to YouTube, there's so much knowledge available. I mean, you could not be starting this at a better time. That everything is accessible right now as far as learning and growing into something more than you could ever even imagine.
There's a lot of great creators out there sharing their experience and information, and it is so helpful for those who learn better through video than reading. It's just, it's a great time. A major goal for us as parents is to instill this love of lifelong learning in our children. We're very passionate about being lifelong learners, and this doesn't necessarily mean traditional learning in a classroom, but there's so much to learn about anything and everything, and we really want our kids to continue to have this passion that we have. Love.
Yeah.
Where when you find something interesting, it's okay to let it, not too much, but to let it consume you a little bit and really just get excited.
Sometimes too much.
And dig in. And especially if that too much means a lot of delicious food, it might not be a bad thing.
Yeah.
But we really We really do value the ability to learn so much by being blessed to live in the time that we do, where there is literally, you could learn anything you want on a device that you carry around in your pocket almost all the time.
And something else that we've kind of, I don't know, stumbled upon. I feel very inspired, and we both feel very inspired to help feed that hunger in other people too, and to try to start instilling that need to learn these things, and need and desire to go back and re-find our love for the things around us, the earth and what the earth provides for us, or really anything. That sounds hokey, but if you grow in water, cool. If you're vegetarian, cool. If you only eat meat, cool. But find a love for that, and let's, we really want to help people find passion in that again.
Yeah, and to find the joy in producing something rather than just living in this endless loop of consumerism where we just need the best, biggest, and greatest thing. There's a lot to be said for the pride you feel when you are raising your own food. We love when we get to have people over for dinner and share a dinner with them that's from all this stuff we grew and raised. We love just packing that stuff up when we're going to friends and just sharing the extra off. It just really is, it's such a joy.
Yeah, and the smile that you bring on someone's face. We're giving our neighbors eggs. We're forming community and bonds with people in our neighborhoods over food that we can share. They have citrus or avocado, and we have eggs, or we have various vegetables, and we're exchanging these things in our neighborhoods to help each other out. And that's phenomenal. What's better than that?
I don't think there is. I think that it's the way things are supposed to be a little bit. We live a pretty isolated life in a lot of ways, especially after 2020, where we all went into our little holes during the, trying time that was, and got segmented off. And it's been really great to just have the whole neighborhood swapping some good food.
We know that moving towards being more self-reliant and trying to build community and relationships based around food and natural needs and love and passion can be very intimidating. Also comes with a risk, how you can be let down. You're gonna fail. Things are gonna suck sometimes.
Stuff's gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna kill things. You're gonna kill plants. You're gonna lose animals. You're gonna get upset. You're gonna get mad at yourself. It's okay. The literal fruit from your labors in this makes it 1,000,000 times worth the loss and the anger and the frustration that sometimes comes along the way.
And a lot of sweat and a lot of dirt.
And blood.
But it's worth it. Yes, blood. That does happen.
Yeah.
Happen here at our house. We are very excited to be doing this podcast, and we hope that you will join us on the next one. We haven't picked what day of the week we're going to be releasing this yet, but we will be releasing one next week.
Yeah, we're going to be going for a weekly format. We do our best to stick to it, no matter how that does or doesn't work. We're going to try and be consistent with it.
And you'll be able to find this podcast on all podcasting platforms, as well as on our other YouTube channel if you are watching this on Frederick Family Acre,
Yep.
which is Growing to Freedom.
Yep. And we'll link it below
and we will, yes,
and above.
Yes, we will have links.
We'll be releasing another video here on this channel before the podcast happens next week. Everything here is going to kind of stay the same as it has been, just our journey and our projects and our fun, more vlog style format. And we'll see you guys on the podcast also next week.
It's like they can sense it.
Yeah.
Our neighbors are building something.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, outside is still the quietest place. We're going to build a studio.
Yeah. We're working on the studio. We're not, but we will someday.
We will be eventually. Yeah. We've got some other big projects first.
Yeah. All right.